My name is Monica. Today we'll learn Civics Chapter 4, that is key elements of democratic government. Now, in this chapter, there are three elements that influence the working of a democratic government. Now, what is democracy? India is a democracy. This is the result that people choose their own government. We have the people participation through election, the resolution of conflict, equality, and justice that we are getting. We will study in this chapter. So, South Africa, here it's a country. We know that South Africa, it's a country. Now, we will learn with the help of this country how the government is formed, what is the function, and how it rules. South Africa has us people of several races. We have black people who belong to South Africa, white who come to settle there, Indians also who are working in South Africa. This chapter has an important short story. A girl, Maya Naidu, lives in Johannesburg. Her mother tells her the story of Hector Peterson. So, the story of Hector Peterson, let's understand the story. Now, what happened in the story? Let's understand. Apartheid, it's a pronunciation, students. Apartheid in American. South Africa was earlier governed by apartheid laws. Now, what is this term apartheid? It means separation on the basis of the race. South African people were divided into black, Indian, white, and other colored races. According to the law, these races were not allowed. It should not be there because it is creating again the indifference, inequality. But earlier it was there, followed in South Africa. So we can see here in the pictures white people, black people, and all these led to races. There were separate hospitals, ambulance, buses, trains, bus stop for black and white people. So different ambulance for white people, different ambulance for black people, then different schools for black people, different schools for white people. All the difference was prevailing. Ambulance meant for white people were always well equipped, while the one meant for black was not too much equipped with facilities. The best land in the country was reserved for the white people, not for the black people, like Southwestern Township. This is the area in South Africa. You can see here. So, one black township was the Southwestern Township, where we can find the people belonging to this race, that is, black people. So, areas were divided, hospitals were divided, and this was creating the difference. So, Hector Beaton lived here. He and his classmate joined the protest, learning the Afrikaans language in school. This was the language that white people also used to speak. The South African police beat up the protesters. When they were protesting, they were being beaten up by the police, which led to injuries and many other things. Many people were dead, many kids were dead. So, this was the struggle for the freedom and democracy. They were fighting for the freedom, that why the difference is prevailing in the country and why there is so much inequality. South African police beat up the protesters mercilessly and shot at the crowd. Hector Peterson was also shot on June 16, 1976 in South Africa. So this is also that when he fought. So the one of the bullets killed Hector. This happened every year. June 16 is celebrated as what? You will learn in this chapter. Victory. The African National Congress was a group of people who led the struggle against apartheid. So, when they were struggling, this is the term we got, apartheid, the difference, anti-apartheid movement, the difference prevailing. Like Nelson Mandela, who also fought for this. Their most well-known leader, Nelson Mandela, was there for African National Congress. They fought for the apartheid prevailing in the country, the difference that was creating in the country. For equality, they were fighting. In 1994, South Africa became a democratic country in which people of all races were considered equal. When Nelson Mandela was there, then they got the equality. People's participation. Regular elections. People make decisions in a democracy. Through voting in elections, people choose their own representative. They have the right, like we used to give the vote for BJP or Congress. It's our own choice. They take decision, the representative on behalf of the people. It is assumed that representatives will keep in mind the voices and interests of the people. What they have chosen. They have chosen their own leader. Fixed period is there for elections. They are elected for fixed period of time. The government that we choose, as we know that president is for 5 years. So that is the duration. In India, this period is 5 years. Government can stay in power only for that period. If they want to continue being in power, then they have to be re-elected by the people. Suppose we are choosing Narendra Modi again, then he can be again, he was re-elected as a prime minister. So depending on the people choice. Other ways of participation, beside voting, other ways in the process of government for participation, that is, we are going to learn by taking interest in the working of government, expressing disapproval when required through rallies, signatures, etc. So participation in the rallies, protest, etc. Running the government, increase the prices of electricity, for example, the government. People expressed the disapproval sharply. The government tried to explain and defend the decision, but finally he listened to the people only and withdrew the interest. They have to listen to the people only because they are working for the people. That's all for today.